Ever been listening to the radio and you hear a quick clip that says something like, "You're listening to WTKA, the voice of the San Francisco Bay"? Or when you're watching the news, they would pause before coming back from commercials to say something like, "This is CNN." Even on Clubhouse, they would do this thing called reset the room, essentially letting everyone know this is where you are, this is what we're doing, this is what you'll receive. It's a practice called station identification, and it doesn't just work for radio, TV, or social audio. It works for streamers and creators too. Want to establish yourself as an expert with content? Quickly capture your audience's attention by helping them identify they're in the right place. I'm Kirk Nugent, your live video coach, and in this series, we're sharing 6 tips to position yourself as an expert with content. And today, we're looking at tip number 1, station identification. Station identification is everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere you look at all times in the day. In fact, if it can be considered a voiceover, generally speaking, it's a station identification. If you're in Publix and they say, "Hey, watermelon is on sale today," that's station identification. One of the places that is known for more station identification than anywhere else is the airport. You could be going from the parking garage to the terminal and you'll hear that voice letting you know what airlines are at each stop. Maybe you're on the airport train and you're going to different terminals and it'll read off some of the things that you need to know. You could be walking in the terminal to your gate. You'll hear an announcement that says such and such plane is about to take off. This is the final boarding call, right? Even while on the plane, you're in your seat, you'll get those announcements that let you know some of the safety mechanisms of this aircraft. Am I talking to anybody out there?
I hear you, pal.
You'll hear your pilot say something like, "This plane is heading to Las Vegas, to 2.5-hour flight," and they'll share all these details. And what they're doing, every one of those announcements allows the person, the listener, the viewer to know that this is where you are, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. And for you as the person, maybe you're the one that's listening, maybe you're the one that's watching, you can then either identify or confirm that I'm in the right place, or you can say, I'm in the wrong place. Because listen, if you're in the plane and they say this is full service to Las Vegas and you intend to go to Boston, that's the wrong direction. You're on the wrong plane, you're in the wrong seat. You need to course correct. And you want to do that with your content as well. You want to make sure your content has ear markers in there to let your audience know you're in the right place. And conversely, you're letting the audience know they're in the wrong place if they don't intend to receive this particular value.
Mighty kind of you, Georgie.
You have to ask these types of questions, right? Have you ever? What I like to walk coaching clients through is the process of anonymizing previous client scenarios so that they can share them in a way that their audience can engage with so that they can see themselves in that particular scenario. These have you ever questions really help to place that person in the seat where they can recognize, yes, this is for me. No, this is not for me, which is equally as important. But the third one is probably the most critical. I've never thought of it that way, but now that I have, I can't unhear it and I'm curious.
I wonder what he meant by that.
You want to engage that curiosity piece in your content. Man, this is like the ultimate cheat code, y'all. Engaging the curiosity component, right? I have this phrase, curious creators convert. If you're a curious creator, if you can instill curiosity in those who are watching your content, you will be able to convert them. So have you ever questions? Have you ever questions? I want to give you an example of this. I have a coaching client and their platform is called the Pill Method. It's an actual process. It's financial. It's like financial GPS for your money. But he asks this question in his live shows all the time. Have you ever wondered why it takes only 5 years to pay off a $100,000 car, but it'll take you 30 years to pay off a $100,000 house? Have you ever? And what that have you ever question does, I mean, in that particular one, I'm certain that some of you have tuned out right now and you're going to go and Google and find out where's the pill method because I need the answer to that question. I'm not going to answer it. The idea is, number one, has this person ever asked this question? Confirmation is critical in your content. You want to establish yourself as an expert in your niche with content. I don't care who you are. You could be a business owner. You could be a content creator. You could be an entrepreneur. Listen, you could be a service provider. You could have created created an app. But if you want to establish yourself as an expert, you want to share these have you ever questions. Put the onus back on the audience for them to self-identify with your content. That have you ever question allows them to say, yes, I have been wondering that, and I'm so glad you asked that because now I know I'm in the right place. Or that have you ever question lets the person say, no, I've never wondered that. Invariably, almost every single time somebody says, I've never wondered that, they will either have one of two responses. A, I'm not even concerned. That's not me. I don't have that issue. I'm scrolling on. Or B, I've never wondered that, but now that I've heard it, I'm curious. And those are the two groups that you want to mainly focus your attention on. Have them understand you're in the right place. You want to talk about the consequences of the issue. You want to let them know that you understand the issue better than they do. You want to let them know that you're in their seat.
He's right, you know.
Establishing yourself as an expert with content means you are going to station identify your content. You want to let your audience know you're in the right place. And you do that by anonymizing previous client scenarios, by talking about the consequences of the issue that you are dealing with, by asking, have you ever questions? Station identification has been used across industries for confirmation and curiosity. Confirmation is a two-way street, meaning there's actually three groups you're speaking to: those who need your content, who need your answer; those who don't, that's the two-way part; and those who never thought about it, but now they're curious. Your content should quickly instill curiosity and at the same time establish confirmation for viewers that yes, they're in the right place. And once you do that, you then need to settle that you're the right person for them to listen to, which leads us to tip number 2, host and guide. Subscribe to be notified when that video is released. Comment below to join the conversation, or keep watching the playlist for the next video.